welcome to a nice sunny day here in Scotland, and I thought I would talk today just a little bit about these. It's the Durston Iceline Poles. So just recently completed the West Highland way here in Scotland and used these poles on the walk, and just wanted to give some thoughts on the poles so far. I'm not going to go into all the spec on the poles. You can find it on Durston's website, no problem at all. But I thought that we'd maybe just talk about how I found them compared to poles I've used in the past. So they come in this nice storage bag. Just open this up here. And the poles come in two parts, and put them together, just clicks into there, and then you've got your single adjustment on there depending what height you want to set that at. Okay, so my initial observations. After using them for a few days, I found that this part of the adjustment here did start to slip quite a bit, and that required me to tighten this on a couple of occasions. Now, in walking poles I've had in the past, it's generally just a thumb grip tightening on it, but on this one you have to use a screwdriver, a flat-headed screwdriver. Now, luckily enough, I carry a small Swiss Army knife with me, so I was able to make that adjustment. But if that's not something you carry with you, you wouldn't have been able to adjust that very easily and tighten that up. Okay, so that's one of the negative points there that I have on it. The other thing that I've never had happen before on a walking pole is you'll see that there's height marks on there. Hopefully you can see that. After 2 days of use, it started to wear off. So they've actually rubbed off. That one I've lost the 110 and the 115. And on this one here, I've lost the 115 mark. It's just rubbed off completely. So I'm not quite sure what's caused that, but not ideal if you set it to the same height, which I do every time I'm walking. You kind of need now to remark that as to where it's going to go. So that was some of the negative points there. When I first got them, I was a bit unsure about the separation on here and how strong and sturdy that would be. And I have to say, that has been absolutely fantastic. It was rock solid, really, really solid on that. Sorry, there's some sirens going off in the background there. One other thing to point out on this as well is the West Highland Way, and a lot of paths here in the UK do have a lot of road walking on tarmac or on hard sort of cobbled roads. A rubber stopper on the bottom of that would have been a godsend, to be honest, and would have stopped a lot of wear and tear on the tip. Bearing in mind you cannot replace the tips on it. I believe Dan is at some point going to be offering a complete bottom replacement. So the longer you can save these tips, the better. So I have found it quite difficult to actually get a rubber foot to fit that. I have ordered some more. I believe it's an 8mm fitting. There during the next few days, so I'll see if that works and can use it in future. Some of the differences from ones in the past, it doesn't come with a basket, although you can get baskets to fit onto it. So this is the first time I've used a walking pole without a basket, and the odd occasion it did slip into the mud when I was walking, but overall I didn't really notice any disadvantage of not having a basket on it. The foam grip handles are very, very comfortable, although I did find that your hands do get very, very sweaty in them. I generally tend to wear fingerless mitts when I'm walking anyway with walking poles, so it didn't really become an issue with me. But the wife did try them for a short period of time, and she did think that it got quite hot. But I do prefer the foam handles to cork handles anyway, so I don't really have an issue with that. So, the elephant in the room, shall we address that? The lack of straps. Now, initially when these poles came out, it did put me off, I'll be honest, because every walking pole I've used in the past came with straps, and I used the straps on the pole when I was walking. But I've tried these now over a fair distance. The West Highland weighs 96 miles, so I have tried these over a fair distance, and I can't say that I missed the straps, to be honest. It was actually quite refreshing not having to stick your hand through the strap and out the strap, depending if you're going up or downhill. So it was actually quite nice not having the straps on them. Weight-wise, they are super lightweight. They're about half the weight of my regular lightweight walking poles, which is one of the reasons I actually went for them. So overall, are they worth the money? Well, only you can really decide that, but certainly for me, I think they were a good purchase, and it's certainly a walking pole that I will be using going forward. The issue I was concerned about, the straps on the handle, weren't an issue for me. If I can get a foot to actually, a rubber foot to go onto the bottom, that'll solve any of the issues with me walking on roads. So overall, I find it to be an excellent pole. Let me know in the comments what you think about not having the straps on the handle, but certainly one that I would recommend going forward. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.